Okay, welcome. This video is about how I used a Claude AI project to edit my writing. So let's get the video going so I can talk over top of it. And I'll try to follow along with it here. We're starting on Claude AI, the project page. And you can kind of see how that looks once you get into it. The layout and all. You've got the chats on the left and the project stuff on the right, like the project knowledge, the project instructions, and any documents you've attached, which I think counts as knowledge. Let me make sure this is still going. It is. I must have went really slow so I'd be able to talk over it. And basically, in my case, what I'm doing is not really writing with it so much as editing and understanding those edits that I was given and paid for by an editor, which you'll see here in a little bit. There we go. I see a cursor moving now, at least in the video. And there's, you go to Claude and that's what you see if you click on the projects. But I think I go back here so you can see, you just first time at Claude, you see this, and you do need to pay. Needs to be the pro plan, which is $20 a month. And I don't try any other model other than Claude 3.5 Sonnet, which I think they've said is their best model at this point in terms of, I don't know, various things, but mostly writing, following instructions. So now we go over to the name Claude, and we're going to move down and click projects, I think. Now we're kind of back up what we saw before, and that's all my projects I got going. Let's go to Ovid's 10th, what I call a book, which really isn't big enough to be a book. It's more like a, I don't know, novella, a novelette, maybe. So you can see on the left-hand side, there's the chats that you have with it. But on the right's where the special stuff is. I'm gonna click on the instructions, the project instructions, but there's also project knowledge. Let's see where I go next in this. We're waiting a little bit here. I must have been talking quite a bit in the original video. And I'm doing this over top of this video in this case because Claude has some outages, at least today and other days that I've used it. But it's been pretty good. I've gotten through the entire book. And here come the instructions. These are for everything you do in the project. It's supposedly paying attention to this in detail. And I can make that available in the description or a comment below this video, beside it, wherever it shows up. And so that's the instructions for everything that's going to happen in here, every chat, unless you tell it otherwise. You can see I just quickly deleted the old docx file that was there. We'll come back to that. But here's something that really does help. You give it an exact example where you probably tried this in a chat before you started your project to get an idea of what this should look like. That is it, repeating the first paragraph in chapter 1 verbatim with the comments. And then I told it I wanted it to tell me some more stuff about what the editor is trying to say. And that's those two pieces of analyses: point of view, tense, pacing, tone, structure. And then it sometimes attempts to rewrite the paragraph, and then it justifies what it rewrote with its rationale thing. So that's a good thing to have. In fact, that really keeps it on track. And now I'm going to add another piece of knowledge just to show. I'm going to add chapter 1. And I'm going to upload it because I downloaded it from Google Docs. I'm looking for it. Because when you download a docx from Google Docs, you get the editor's comments if you or an editor left your comments up there. So now that's there. And for some reason, it says that's a large file. None of these are very large. And I've really only used 5% of my knowledge capacity. And I have no idea what that means. But let's go find one from the past so I can show you exactly how it works. But first, this is where I started everything. I wrote my stuff on Google Docs. Each chapter is a doc. And then you can save that. Now, that's not what happened next. What happens next is I made a copy of it so that the editor over there on the right, who I won't advertise for since I didn't ask their permission, is able to leave comments. You share it with them, they leave comments, or you do it yourself, either way. And then you can see that some paragraphs have multiple comments with them. You see the highlighting there. And when you do that, you can download that as a docx, and it will still have the comments in it. And the paragraphs, of course, all the writing. And let's see if I move to one where I've already started so I can show you how this all works. I think I'm looking for it. Here's one. Let's see which kind this was. I'm looking. If you scroll back to the top, I see. He's looking for the one before that. So that would be that one. This is just the way I came up to do it, which means I wrote a little Python script to take apart the docx file and pick out the paragraph and the editor's comments because I didn't want to keep copy and pasting all day long. But as you'll see in a minute, it works just by copy and pasting. You don't need any fancy Python script. So there, it's repeating what I sent it verbatim because you want to be able to relate what you did to what it's talking about. And that was a part of the instructions. And then there again is the analysis that it's doing on what the editor said. And the technical analysis is kind of on both things. It's got point of view, tense, pacing, tone, and structure. And then this time it kind of rewrote it, but it looks basically the same to me because I don't think he had any issues with that paragraph. And there's its rationale, 8 points about why it rewrote it the way it did. Okay, so next it should go to the one where I copy and paste, which is what probably most people would do. Let's go to that one. And you see the original input's different. It says paragraph and then the paragraph and comments and then the comments from the document pasted, and then it plays them back verbatim and goes through the same analysis, revision, and rationale as it did before. Again, I think even though this is quite repetitive, so is editing, any way you do it. But I think it's helpful to get something different in the course you're going to read it again and again and again, but this is kind of, it breaks it up somehow and you get to pause and you spend a bit more time with it, which I think is always a good thing. And that is the process. And I did that for all 15 of my chapters over and over, paragraph by paragraph. And it can do other things, obviously. It can read the whole story, summarize and give you key moments. It can do all kinds of stuff. It's pretty good at that. It's the writing that is just not good at currently. That might be a while too. So we've seen a before and an after. And near the end here, I think I'm just supposed to say, I hope this demonstration has given you some practical ideas for your own writing project. Remember, AI tools like Claude work best when you give them clear instructions and combine them with professional human insight. That would be us. As with any writing, it never really ends. There's always more to learn and to forget, and there are endless ways to perform the process. There are no shortcuts. And if the video is almost done, I can say, thanks for watching and feel free to leave comments. And I'll put back up the little picture at the end while I'm scrolling over there for some reason. And there we go. This has been editing fiction with Claude AI and kind of a step by step guide. Once you get everything set up, it becomes a lot clearer as to what is going on. So, again, thanks for watching. And I will say what I normally say here at the end, which is peace.